Hello StarBase community, it's Deacon, and today I have a video about tips and tricks in StarBase for starters. I know that there is another video out there for day one, but it's not entirely noob friendly, and there's a lot of stuff that he leaves out that I think a lot of people don't know, especially me when I started this game. So this will help answer some questions that I've seen and some questions that I had when I started the game after watching his video. So first things first, I'm going to do something very basic, and that's just how to check your currency. You're going to go ahead and click I to go to your inventory and go to CV. From here you can see your entire log, including your balance and what you've spent on and what you have sold. Now if you're ever floating in space and you're kind of wonky on your angle, so like let's say I come over here and I'm over here and I'm just kind of sideways. This happens a lot, especially if you're mining or something. An easy fix for this is you just look at the surface that you want to be leveled with and click Q. And as you can see, it has a range to it. So there you go, that's how you even out. There's no like propellers or anything like Space Engineers where you can just use your jetpack to kind of even yourself out. It's on some weird thing, so you just look at something, click Q, and that's what your gravity aligns to. Another thing that we're going to go over is where to set the recall point. So if you click escape and go to insurance transfer, you can see I have the origin I spawned at, which is 18, and then I set station origin 8 as well. So this helps if you didn't spawn in the region you wanted to for whatever reason, and you had to go back to do your tutorial. So I spawned at station 18, flew all the way here. Well, to finish the tutorial I had to go back to station 18 for some reason. So it would have really helped me instead of having to fly all the way back if I knew this beforehand. All you want to do is come over here to where the shops are at, and you can identify this by the shops now, stores open. This is also where the auction house is, and you can see the easy build walls there, and all the other shops and stuff are over there. So just come to this location. It's going to be on the first floor here, and we're just going to come up to this terminal. Once you get to this terminal, go ahead and click F on an empty, or E on an empty slot, and it'll save your new origin. As you can see, I already have the origin 8 saved, so I don't need to be doing anything else here. Once you have that saved, you should see it like I do, escape, insurance transfer, and you should be able to transfer back to the area that you have saved, which you can see there are multiple ones here. Next, we're going to be going over some basic flight keybinds. You can go ahead and check in your settings as well, depending on how you have them set up. For instance, I changed Q and E with A and D. That's just how I prefer to fly. We're going to click F to get into the seat, and if you click Shift, it'll go ahead and move your speed forward a little bit. If you hold Shift all the way, it'll go ahead and put max speed on there. Now if you hold Control, you can see it'll slow you down. And those are done with my left control and left shift. Now if I hold A and D, you can see it rolls me. These are the ones I switched. So this is your roll, and then your Q and E by default will actually turn the ship. W and S will, I believe this is yaw. I may have messed these up. I'm not entirely sure what these are called in the aviation world. And if you do the up, down, left, and right arrow keys, this will just do basic thrust movements. So if you need to, if you have landing gear, I'm not even sure if there are landing gear, but if you need to get lower, you just hold down, higher, up, and then left and right are just basic thrust. Another thing you want to get used to is turning your generator off when you're not using it. So my batteries are full right now. I'm not really using it. This will stop your fuel chamber from depleting. So the fuel chamber is in the back here. I'll show you in just a second. And then you also have propellant and stuff. This can be refilled at a station. You just go to either the mining stations, the mining towers where you can sell your ore that are all over here, the towers here. Or you can go to a refill point, which are purple points all over the station, like here. And you can go ahead and refuel there. So as you're a new player, and I kind of touched on this earlier, you might want to be able to refill your fuel, and you also might want to be able to sell your ore that you collect, things that you think you may not need, or maybe you just need the cash. So both of these things can be done at the ore towers that are located all over. They're very noticeable, these ore towers here, here, and they also have them on the bottom sides. And you can refuel and sell both at these places. Now, if you're just looking to refuel, you can go to the refill stations all over that look like this. They have the purple with the refill, and they are on the left and right side of that thing, so you don't try and fly straight inside of it. You're going to want to grab the connector from your ship, and they have a connector that you can hook it up to there. And yeah, you can go ahead and trade and refuel from there. Now, to actually hook up your ship to the refill stations in the mining or drop-off locations, you're going to want to head and connect yourself here, click F, and then just find the same module, usually on the side, and click F. Now those inventories are together. You can refuel here, and then as you can see here, I have my ore that's on me, on my ship, and then in my storage that I can go ahead and sell if I wanted to. So another thing that I saw in the other tutorial is how to change a certain thing on these controls with the universal tool here. So to use this universal tool, it's custom bound, or not custom bound, it's default bound by you. And how you use it is you want to look at something and then click it. So I'm going to click U. And as you can see, it changes if you stop looking at something. To stop this, just click Tab, and it'll bring up your thing. Click what you want to do, and then come to Data. Okay, there we go. So if it's lit up, you can change it. I can change this to 100. Go ahead and exit out of here. Click this one, the middle one that you have. Click Y, change it to 100. Exit out of it. Click this one. Sorry, not Y, U. I have mine set to Y. And again, change it to 100, and then you can exit out of it with U again. Now we're going to click Tab to enter back into our cursor, or have control. So another question you might have is how to transfer stuff from your cargo crates in your inventory into your storage. All storages are connected, so if you go to a different origin, you still have access to your old storage. And the way to do this is just to go ahead and click I, come down here, this is your backpack, and double click. Now you might be saying you have a lot more storage crates in your ship, and this is why you cannot see them. Go ahead and click I again to exit out, click F on your seat to get out, come back here and hook up to your ship to share inventories. And then you can click I, and as you can see, I have a whole bunch of stuff shoved inside of my cargo crates, and I can double click each one of them and they'll go over. You can also just drag and drop. And to drop stuff outside, so if you don't need something, you can drag it outside the screen and it will drop it in the world as a cube as well. This is something that took me a while to figure out because I could not see my connected containers. It may have also been a bug. The day one bugs were pretty horrendous because I believe I was hooked up and I still couldn't see it, but this did take me some time to find out before I actually got it figured all out. Alright, moving on, we're going to be going to research points and crafting. So if you pull up your K menu, you can see the items that you can craft. You can also see the currency that you have. These are research points. And to purchase new builds, so let's say I want to unlock tier 1 thrusters, I will need 3,000 of the cubes, 200 of the lightning, and 500 of the cogs. I'm sure they actually have names. I do not know what they are called, but that is not the point of this tutorial. It's to teach you the basics of it. So we're going to go ahead and if we want tier 1 thrusters, we're going to need all that. And you say, well, how do I get research points? This is actually pretty simple. You can also unlock a bunch of other stuff in these advanced and tools and weapons. So to do this, we're just going to click H. And in order to get research points, you have to craft items. So the amount of things you craft determines how many points you have, and what you craft determines what you have, or what is given to you. So if I craft just the basic block of 4 crates that you do in the tutorial, you can see that for the cubes, I get 171, for the lightning, I get 32, and for the cogs, I get 32. Now this has changed this morning on a day 2 patch that they had early in the morning, and you can see each of them have different ones. I have heard that the best one to build, though, it looks pretty expensive. I've not made it yet, but it is going to be the crafting bench, and as you can see, you get 300 crates here, 500 lightning bolts, and 900 cogs. I can actually create one of these. It looks like it takes a bit of material, but I can't create any more cargo crates, so we're just going to craft one. And when you craft, it does take amount of real world time. It's not just an instant thing. This one looks like it's probably going to take a minute or two. And once that's done, you can go ahead and drag these to the bottom, and that will allow you to place it as soon as you have it finished. And the same is going to be with your normal ship modules, so your block of 4 crates and the other things that you build. Just drag and drop, and once they are complete, you will be able to click them and do the easy build and throw it on your ship. To remove it, just drag it off the screen, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. So, you're looking at buying a ship instead of making your own, because to hell with all that, and you have the money. So something you're going to want to know is most places, and they have stations all over, factions and stuff. For instance, there's Keybinds and a whole bunch of other ones. I'm just in the basic one right now in the middle. As you can see, it's a big yellow and neon green building. And we're going to go ahead and zoom in here. Most of these have information on them that tells you what they're for. This is a cargo ship, obviously. Doesn't look very great, but you're going to want to come over here. This is the ship price, and you're going to also need all this to purchase it. So you're going to need Vocarium ore, Ice, Ceridium, Bastium, Agitate, and however you say that. I'm not going to attempt. You're going to need all this plus the price. I believe the price goes to the owner, and then this is what you just need to build it. So that is how you do it. You can also test flight before you go, and as you can see, there's multiple ones here. They don't all have descriptions, just depending who made it. So just be careful on what you buy, and also pay attention to how much you need. It's not just the money that you need. I would definitely recommend just continuously upgrading your ship, and for visuals, you can go ahead and look at these. There's a bit of a loading problem. I'm not sure what's up with that. But you can just look at these for ideas to how to make the ship look better. And yeah, that's how you do that. So you're flying in the middle of space, right? And all of a sudden, you stop. You see your fuel chamber going down, and you worry because you just refilled and it did not do your fuel chamber fuel. Well, there's an easy solution to this. Just follow my steps, and I'll help you through this equivalent of a flat tire. First, you want to make sure that you decelerate all the way down, because, as you can see, you could be accelerated all the way up and it not be moving, so make sure you shut that off. Look at your seat, click F to get out. Come over here and grab your old fuel rod. Click E again, and click P to put it inside of your inventory. Now we're going to come over here to the back of our ship, click E on it to grab a new one, and snap it into place. We're going to right click here and drag to put it in the area that it needs to be in. It just needs to be pretty close. And it is snapping everywhere. We're going to click C to turn snapping off. That way we can angle it a little better. And it is not listening. There we go. And then we're going to click C again to turn snapping back on. This will help us actually put this where it needs to be. Click E to drop it, and boom, there you go. Your fuel rod is now inside. Jump in your seat. You could see it is full again, and your generator's on, so we can turn that off. Stop depleting. Our batteries are empty though, so we do need this on to recharge the batteries. And that is everything. Now we are approaching an asteroid because we were told to go here for a starter quest. And we just want to mine, make some money, make some crafting material. And we pull up and hit it because that just gives you extra luck. Now you're going to be looking for specific items sometimes. So what you want to do is look at the asteroid that you just hit very nicely and neatly. Click Universal Tool, which is keybound by you by default. And then we're going to click Tab, switch to Material, click Tab again. As you can see, this has Ice and Vocarium ore. Now, Vocarium and Ice, Ice isn't very useful for you at the beginning of the game, and you don't need a huge quantity of it to start off either. So what you're going to do is just drop it with U again. Make sure that you're tethered up, so go to the top of your ship, click F to pick up your tether, pull out your pickaxe, and right click. So you can left click, and the left click will break big chunks off if it's in your way, and they'll kind of just float off into space. And to actually break it into collectible parts, we're going to right click. We can collect some ice because why not? and start right-clicking the actual resource you want. Now you may be saying, wow, it's pretty hard to see in there. How am I going to be that accurate? Do I have to like push the asteroid into the sunlight? No, you can click in. Just think of it like night vision, because L is not keybound to it for some reason, and I needed something to say there. So let's go ahead and right-click this. Now that we can see it, we've gotten all the goodies out of this asteroid. If you want more ice, you can stay here. Most people just leave it like this, though. Another kind thing you can do is left-click it up a little bit, and this will let other people see it from a distance and know that you've taken everything out of it and that it's just a junk piece of ore that needs to despawn now. Jump back in your ship. And something I didn't do was turn your generator off when you're mining. My batteries were kind of low, though. I just refilled my fuel chamber. So whenever you're mining, go ahead and turn your generator off as part of your flight jet. When you get back in, turn it back on. Okay, another thing that you may be wondering is where you can pick up your ship at and spawn it. All of these landing pads. I'm not sure why they're called landing pads, considering you can despawn your ship anywhere. It's actually kind of annoying, because they charge you a towing fee no matter where. If I land inside one of these landing pads and despawn my ship, and then pay, because it's gonna despawn on a timer anyways, but then I still have to pay a towing fee, even though it's exactly where I left it. So if you are looking for a place to, you're just walking around, you're looking for a place to spawn your ship, that's where it's done, is all these L's around are the landing pads. And as you can see, they're instanced, they have a blue bubble around it, so you're not gonna have any problems with it being full. Well, StarBase community, I hope I've been able to help you answer some questions you had about the game. If not, please comment, or if you want to see more StarBase videos, please let me know. I will continue to answer questions both in-game and here as much as I can. I suggest you watch Kinador's Day 1 video if you haven't, and please consider leaving a like and subscribing if I've helped you in any way. If you are looking for a StarBase company to join, I'll leave a friendly Discord link below. As always, it's been great, and continue helping the community.